Now, investigators are trying to determine whether Anders Breivik is simply a delusional loner or part of a far-right group. What are your thoughts on that, his motivations?
Well, I think we know full well that there are many neo-Nazis right across the world, I mean, particularly in Europe, and this is probably the first time that we've seen such a big attack by a neo-Nazi group. I mean, I think Anders Breivik thought he was some kind of Teutonic knight from medieval times, because he's echoing the kind of crusader attitude, and it's a very strange version of Christianity that he he says he's a Christian. I don't think he is. It's maybe the same kind of strange version of Christianity that Bush and Blair have been coming up with over the last 10 years or so. So I think that this is actually the tip of an iceberg. There's actually quite a lot of this neo-Nazi activity out there, and now I think the anti-terrorist authorities right across the world are going to have to take this brand of terrorism much more seriously.
Okay, you're saying that there's a bit of an increase in that kind of thinking. Breivik himself said he wanted to attack the structure of society, making reference obviously to the growing Muslim population. Do you think that really more people are thinking this way, and could this really be a sign that multiculturalism is failing in Europe?
Well, yes, it does seem that he really was trying to attack democracy, because this is the way things are. This is the way people want to be. So if he's attacking that, he's attacking everybody by doing it. I would also add that it was interesting that the police said they'd never come across him before, the Norwegian police. But I wonder very much, I wonder if the Secret Service in Norway has been watching him, because it was very strange that when he was first arrested on Friday, the police actually called out his name to him. Now, it was I would be amazed if they would have actually known as they first approached him what his name was. I would have thought that from the arrest point, that's where the investigation would have started from.
Okay, so you're saying that it, on one hand, it did come as a surprise to them, because this is the first ever terrorist attack in Norway, as the police had said. So could it be argued that the country just wasn't particularly prepared for this kind of an attack? And could this mean harsher anti-terror laws?
I think it's probably fair to say that most of Europe is not prepared for this kind of attack. We did have 2 years ago in Britain an arrest of a couple of what you may call neo-Nazis, certainly far-right people who had an arms cache in Cumbria in northern England, but they weren't actually able to carry out an attack. So it's becoming pretty clear now that there's a whole different strand of terrorism potentially out there, and particularly worrying is that he was a Freemason. Anders Breivik has declared that he was a Freemason. I would imagine that the Norwegian police are now going to be talking to all the other members of any masonic lodges that he was in, because this seems to be the place where this kind of fake Christian, rather nasty racist ideology was cooked up.
Okay, let's just quickly talk about the time in prison for him. Now, they say that a maximum time for terrorism is 21 years. Do you think it could be extended to make the punishment harsher?
Well, I think that they should just allow justice to run its course over in Norway. That's the best attitude. Don't come in with any new draconian laws. This guy obviously needs to go down if that's what the jury finds, and let's make sure that he's not free to roam the streets. Because what concerns me is some of the right-wing terrorists we've had in Europe over the last 30, 40 years really still are. This is from the Operation Gladio and other similar operations by NATO, still are walking the streets.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your insight there. Investigative journalist Tony Gosling, live from London. Thank you.
A new world order, a new world order, a new world order of love.
Hello, Tom Tucker, live at James Woods High School with this sensational breaking story. A teacher caught molesting children. An area high school student interested in the glamorous world of unpaid internships? If so, we'd like to invite you to try out for Channel 5's Young Anchor program.
Oh, wow!
Call us now.
Yeah!
Channel 5 is not responsible for anyone burned, maimed, impaled, or molested during actual internship.
School children washing cars to raise money for charity. Is there anything more arousing?